Welcome children. In this video, which is the last video on electrolysis, that is this is the fifth video I am posting to you, and here we are going to discuss about the applications of electrolysis. Now children, electrolysis has several technical and commercial applications. They are as follows. First is electroplating with metals, and second is electro refining of metals, and third is extraction of metals, that is electrometallurgy. So children, when we are talking about electroplating children is a process in which a thin film of metal like gold, silver, nickel, chromium, etc. get deposited on another metallic article with the help of electricity. So it is basically a coating of a superior metal over an inferior metal through a process of electrolysis. Now children, what is the reason for electroplating? There are two reasons for electroplating. First is decorative purpose. For example, brass objects are frequently plated with silver to get them the shining appearance and beauty of a silver article. If we want to plate any metal with gold, then it gives us the appearance of a gold. And similarly children, the metal which is coated, its decorative value increases, and so it becomes good looking. That is one reason of electroplating. And the next reason is to protect from rusting and corrosion. Say for instance, iron tools and instruments are often electroplated with nickel or chromium or zinc to protect against rusting. Many times you might have seen that the rods of the cycle, the rims of the wheel, they all are electroplated with chromium, so that over this electroplating is done over iron. This increases its appearance also, and it protects it from rusting and corrosion also. Now children, there are some conditions for electroplating. First condition is that the article to be electroplated is placed at the cathode. Say whatever article you want to electroplate is to be made the cathode, because during electrolysis reaction the metal is always deposited at the cathode by the gain of electrons. So the metals get deposited on cathode, so we make the article to be electroplated as cathode, so metal gets deposited. Then second condition is the metal to be plated on the article is always made anode and has to be periodically replaced. The metal anode continuously dissolves as ions in solution and is replaced periodically. So children, if we want to electroplate an article with silver, then we have to put anode as silver. So a silver anode has to be placed. If you want to electroplate an article with the nickel or with chromium, then the anode has to be made of that metal. Then third point is children, the electrolyte must contains ions of the metal which is to be plated on the article, that is be a suitable salt for plating. Say children, the electrolyte, whatever electrolyte you are using, say if we are electroplating it with silver, then an electrolyte should contain a silver ion in that, and that cations must be of the same metal which you want to coat on the other metal. The electrolyte dissociates into ions of the metal which migrates towards the cathode and are deposited as neutral metallic atoms on the cathode. Then children, next condition, fourth condition is a low current for a longer time should be used, because higher current causes uneven deposition of the metal. Longer time and low current initiate a thicker and a uniform deposition. And fifth point is children, a direct current is used and not the AC current should be used. So AC current causes the discharge and ionization to alternate at the cathode, thus giving no effective coating. So children, now we will do some examples. First is electroplating an article with silver. So if you want to coat say a spoon with silver, what we have to do in order to get a perfect deposit of silver on an article, say brass spoon, the spoon is first cleaned and then it is washed in a hot solution of caustic soda, followed by dilute hydrochloric acid and water. So the article to be electroplated must be washed. It must be washed with hot water, then with caustic soda, then with dilute hydrochloric acid, and finally with water. It is now thoroughly washed with a detergent and several times with distilled water. So the spoon is then dried and made the cathode. And then children, we set up the apparatus as shown here. The cathode is the spoon on which we want to electroplate, and anode is made up of pure silver block is there, and anode is there. We connect a battery, we connect the circuit, and the electrolyte children which we use here is sodium argentocyanide. So this electrolyte must contain a positive ion silver if you want to coat it with silver, or potassium argentocyanide. So we have to remember the electrolyte which we are using for plating an article with silver. They are sodium argentocyanide or potassium argentocyanide. Children, sodium silver cyanide is prepared by adding sodium cyanide to a solution of silver nitrate until the precipitate forms just dissolve. So what we do, how can we get this electrolyte? First we dissolve sodium cyanide and silver nitrate, we get silver cyanide plus sodium nitrate. This silver cyanide we again dissolve with sodium cyanide, and the precipitate dissolves and we get this solution. Now children, when this electrolyte dissociates, it forms a positive ion which is sodium silver ion, sodium ion positive, silver ion, and a negative cyanide ion. And since water is also present in the electrolyte, so water also forms a hydrogen ion and a hydroxyl ion. So cathode article is to be electroplated is duly clean, as we know, and the cathode reaction is that the silver ions moves towards the cathode. Although both the ions move towards the cathode, but silver, since it is lower down in the electrochemical series, it gets an electron from a cathode, and it becomes a neutral silver metal, and it gets deposited on the spoon. Then at anode children, a plate of pure silver is there, and silver is an active electrode over here. So the anode which is made up of silver, there the silver atom loses its one electron and it forms a silver ion, and it goes into the electrolyte. So children, an ion which is deposited as after gaining electron as silver metal on the spoon, the same amount of ions get discharged from the anode into the electrolyte. So the next net concentration of silver ion in the electrolyte remains the same. The negative ion, that is cyanide ion and hydroxyl ion, migrate to the anode, but none of them are discharged. Instead, the atoms of anode, that is silver, lose electron and pass them into the silver solution as silver ion due to the nature of anode. So silver ions are attracted to the brass spoon cathode. Here they gain electron and becomes atoms of silver which deposit on the spoon as a firm coating. The thickness of the coating will depend upon the duration of the current pass. In the process, the anode dissolves and it becomes thinner and thinner. The electrolyte solution maintains the same concentration, thus it is if it is colored, the intensity of the color remains the same. The spoon is taken out of the bath, repeatedly washed several times with water, dried and polished. Note, if silver nitrate solution in place of silver argentocyanide solution is used directly instead of double cyanide of sodium and silver, the deposition of silver will be very fast and hence not very smooth and uniform. So children, these are some points which we have to remember for the electroplating of silver. Now children, if we want to electroplate an article with nickel, then iron gets easily rusted when exposed to air. If iron articles are coated with metals like nickel, tin or zinc, rusting can be prevented. Again children, the cathode, at the cathode we put the article which we want to electroplate, and at anode, if we want to electroplate an article with nickel, we place a pure nickel anode rod over there as electrolyte. Then if nickel plating is to be done, the iron article to be coated is made the cathode, nickel plate is made the anode, and a solution of nickel sulfate containing a small amount of dilute sulfuric acid is used as an electrolyte. So electrolytes are children aqueous solution of nickel sulfate. So if it dissociates, it forms nickel ion and sulfate ion, and water forms hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion. So cathode, the article to be electroplated is duly cleaned, and anode is block of pure nickel. So reaction at cathode is that the positive nickel ion moves towards the cathode or the article to be electroplated, and it gains 2 electrons and it forms a neutral nickel metal atom, and it gets deposited onto the article. Now children, nickel ions are discharged at the cathode as neutral nickel atoms by gain of electrons in preference to hydrogen, and reaction at anode is that sulfate ion and hydroxyl ion both moves towards the anode, but none of them get discharged. In place, the nickel atom of the nickel anode, it loses its 2 electron and it forms a nickel ion. So sulfate ion and hydroxyl ion both migrates to the anode, but neither are discharged due to the nature of electrode. Instead, the nickel anode loses electrons to give nickel ion in the solution. Note, the article to be plated is always kept at the cathode. The electrolyte must be a solution of salt of metal to be electroplated, and the anode is made up of a strip of metal to be plated. Now children, we come to the second use of electrolysis, that is electrolytic refining of metal. Now children, this means that if we have some impure metal and we want to purify it, or we want to remove the impurity from it, then again we use this method of electrolysis, and this is called as electrolytic refining of metals. So electrolytic refining is a process by which metal containing impurities are purified electrolytically to give pure metal. Refining of copper. So children, an example is being discussed here. The most important use of copper is in the form of wire for electric transmission. For this, copper must be absolutely pure, because very small amount of impurities reduces its conductivity to a great extent. So children, here many slabs of impure coppers are placed as white slabs, which you can say, and thin slabs of pure coppers are taken over here. So where it is you can see that multiple electrodes are being placed in this particular example, but we can even demonstrate it by a single set of electrodes also. So what it does, electrolyte, the solution of copper sulfate and dilute sulfuric acid is added. So children, dilute sulfuric acid is just added to enhance the electrical conductivity, and cathode is thin strip of pure copper and anode is impure copper. So when the electric current is passed through the electrolyte, the copper ions of the copper sulfate solutions are attracted to the cathode, where they gain electrons and get deposited on the pure copper strip. The impure copper loses electron and passes into the solution as soluble copper ions. So what happened children? At cathode, where a thin strip of pure copper is there, the copper ions of the solution migrates towards cathode. They gain 2 electrons and they form copper metal neutral atom, and this copper atom gets deposited on that thin strip of pure copper. So this cathode, which is made up of pure strip of copper, it gets thickened, and at anode children, the copper from the anode releases its 2 electron to the anode and it forms copper ion, and that copper ion gets dissolved in the electrolyte. So children, these copper ions migrate to the cathode in the form of a procession, and after gaining electrons from it, get deposited on the cathode. The net result is that gradually the impure slab of copper gets finished and thin strip of pure copper becomes thicker and thicker. The copper deposited on the cathode is 99.9% pure, and after electrolysis is over, these strips of metals are melted and transformed into the desired shape. Some impurities get dissolved in the acid, while others, namely silver and gold, which are insoluble, get collected near the anode as anode mud and are recovered. So children, under the anode the impurities gets deposited and we call them as anode mud. So children, this is the second use of electrolysis. And children, the third use of electrolysis is in electrometallurgy. Although children, here we are going to study it in just in a brief manner, but electrometallurgy we study in metallurgy also, in extraction of aluminum. So electrometallurgy is a process of extraction of metals by electrolysis. If you want to extract metals from compounds and through electricity or through electrolysis, this is that process. So children, metals which are higher in the electrochemical series such as potassium, calcium, sodium, magnesium and aluminum are extracted by electrolysis. These metals have strong affinity for oxygen and their oxides are highly stable. It is not possible to reduce these oxides by common reducing agents like carbon monoxide, hydrogen. So electrometallurgy provides a convenient method to extract these metals. So children, this method is applied in those compounds where the metal and the oxygen or metal and other compounds are bonded together. Metal and non-metal are bonded together by very strong electrostatic force of attraction, and it is difficult to remove the negative ion from that compound. So we do it by electrometallurgy. Say reactive metals are extracted from their halides. Halides means chloride, bromide, fluoride, by electrolysis, which is called as electrolytic reduction using inert electrode. Cathode is usually made of iron and anode of graphite. So children, reactive metals are not extracted from their aqueous salt solution by electrolysis. This is because the aqueous solution will contain hydrogen ion along with metal ion. On the passage of electric current, the hydrogen ion get discharged in preference to metal which are above hydrogen in the activity series. Thus the product formed at cathode is hydrogen and not the metal. So children, if we see that we cannot extract the metals which are high above in the electrochemical series by their aqueous solution. So fused solution is there. Fused solution is just a melted solution of those compounds. For example, potassium can be extracted from potassium bromide. We fused it, we heated. Fuse means in liquid state. So reaction is that potassium bromide, children, breaks down into potassium ion and bromide ion. So reaction at cathode is the potassium ion moves to cathode, then it gains one electron and potassium and metal is formed at the cathode. And reaction at anode is that the bromine atom goes to the anode and it loses its electron to anode and form bromine atom. Two bromine atom combines together to form a bromine molecule. So potassium metal is obtained at the cathode. Then in the same way, sodium can be obtained from sodium, fused sodium chloride, where sodium chloride breaks them, dissociates into sodium ion and chloride ion. At the cathode, sodium ion gains one electron and forms sodium metal, and at cathode similarly chlorine is produced. So sodium metal is obtained. Then magnesium, fused magnesium chloride, it contains magnesium ion and chloride ion. Since magnesium ion is a positive ion, it will move towards the cathode, it will gain 2 electrons, forms the magnesium metal, and reaction at anode will be chloride ion moves to anode, loses its 1 electron, forms chlorine atom. 2 chlorine atom combines together with a covalent bond to form a chlorine molecule. And children, aluminum is also obtained. This we are going to study in detail in the chapter metallurgy. So aluminum is obtained by the electrolysis of its oxide, that is alumina, where gas carbon lining of electrolytic cell acts as cathode and graphite rod acts as anode. So electrolyte used for the extraction of aluminum is pure alumina, cryolite and phosphor. Now children, these in detail we are going to study, so we are not studying them in detail over here. So the positive ions formed are aluminum ion and oxide ion. Reaction at cathode will be aluminum ion moves towards cathode, gains electron over there, and it forms an aluminum metal. And reaction at anode is that oxygen atom loses electrons and form oxygen atom, and oxygen atom combines together to form oxygen molecule, and oxygen gas is obtained at the anode. So children, these are the uses of electrolysis. Here we have finished this chapter. Now we'll be discussing the question answers of this chapter in the next video, but the chapter is over. Children, please go through this chapter, and if you have any doubts you may ask it in the period. Thank you very much.